Good morning, my wonderful friends. Megas with you on a beautiful day in Asha. And today's message is white magic and black magic. And I'm going to show you that many of you are practicing black magic and don't even know it. And the reason is because we've been raised in a matrix, a dark system, and they have control over the religions, over the politics, and they understand the science of the mind and how it works, and that we live out of prompters, and there's survival instincts hardwired into us. And so after so many centuries of reward and punishment, and telling you if you do this, it's good, you're rewarded, you do this, you're punished, that's bad, it gets to a point where you just fall into line. They've done the most horrific things, and they call themselves good Christians, and they'll peel the skin off of people. They'll burn them alive because they have a different understanding. And now we look back at it and say, oh, it's so obvious. That was wrong what they were doing to them. They were actually right. Silly things like that the earth revolves around the sun, or that herb medicine isn't witchcraft, and just crazy things, but it went against their Bible, their ideas, their control system, their government, and they would do the most horrific things. The Crusades, we could go on. We know the history. Even more recent than that, dropping the bomb on Hiroshima, and then they were targeting civilizations that had no military bases, but just to strike fear into the Japanese, just to blow out their libraries and their histories, and just complete evil. And you think, well, that was back then. My friends, worse things are going on right now. They're trying to mix humans and animals so that they can harvest organs, because there's so much money in that. Every 60 seconds a baby is aborted. And I've got to touch on this. I have 90% men that watch me. Women don't like me because of my strong stance on don't kill anything. I put a spider in a cup and take it outside. And woman, stay with me for 1 minute and hear this, because you're going to understand. Black magic is killing the innocent all throughout history. You want the evil power? Okay, I'll tell you what happens. You separate yourself from God by killing the innocent. And what do all the dark religions do? They kill the innocent. And understand this. Think about the matrix religions. Okay, what do? They take the most innocent lamb. Have you ever held a lamb? They're the sweetest things in their eyes, and they're precious, and they're innocent, and they slit their throats to forgive their sins, to appease their Jehovahs and their Allahs. How can you not see that is not good? That is not God, because you have been programmed. That's why it doesn't bother you. The torture of a child in the womb. You can watch it on sonograms where they go in and they hack off an arm and you see it cry out and scream. It was a minute ago sucking its thumb and playing with its toes, and now they're ripping it apart. It doesn't bother you because it's not a human life. It's a political fight between man and woman. It's my body. I can do what I want. That is a lie from the pit of hell. And I promise you, woman, you will come to me one day realizing that you've destroyed your very soul, wondering, is there any way out of it? And thank God there is, because Ahura Mazda is not Jehovah, is not Allah. He is all love, all compassion, all good, the loving Father, and He will embrace you. He's been waiting for you. Let the lie of the dark system and matrix go. They lie to you with their drug commercials, with their beer commercials. They hold you in slavery, and inside of us, we all want to feel good. We want to feel God, but they've separated us from God with their lies and their manipulation and their rewards and their punishments. And so what do? They offer you a beer, a glass of wine, one of their drugs that they make billions of dollars with, but it doesn't satisfy it. It just covers it up, and you get even more muddled down in the confusion. My friends, there is a way out, but you have to be brave enough to break out. They have you locked in and scared to death, and you're running on prompters. My God, I see it with the older generations. I feel like they're not even there when I'm talking to them. They say the same things. They'll say the same jokes. I'll go to visit them, and it's like they're not even there. They're just the same words. Nice shirt. Did you get a new shirt? And the same joke that they told the last time I was there. They're not even present. They're just repeating things. And my friends, that's what they do with their whole life. life. They do that with their religion, with their politics, and it's just already hardwired in their mind, and they're just running now. And that's the way they can get up early in the morning, work all day till night, and just be a slave for the system, my friends, because they're just hardwired. They're robots now, and it's just a bunch of dead people walking, but they promise you, oh, don't worry about it. One day when you die, then you get to go to heaven. Then you'll have all the answers. They're lying to you, my friends. In truth, you are from God. You are made of God. Inside of you is a divine spark, and we were sent here to make this earth a beautiful heaven on earth. No war, no hate, but we're meant to live in peace and love and joy and freedom, my friends. Get up when you want. Get a plot of land, plant your garden, and just live in that asha, in that perfect creator's perfect idea. But they won't let you have that. Think of what they did to the Indians, my friends, to get control of them. They wiped out their food source. They killed, I think it was 15 million buffalo. You see the pictures of them piled up. So the Indians had to come out of the woods and come into their encampments, and then they could control them. And my friends, they hand you your food, and then you thank them for what they give you. You put your hand on your heart and you pledge allegiance to them, my friends. It is a big scam, and it's time we wake up and do something about it. Give me a moment to look at my notes here. I don't want to miss anything. I want to talk about religion. I know this is going to rub some people the wrong way, but we're talking about abortion and killing and the lamb slitting the throat. Think about what they're telling you about Jesus now. That there's an angry God that sacrificed his son like a lamb. That is not what Jesus came to do. Jesus came to live a perfect life and to conquer death. My friends, he came to hold that vibration. Jesus says, verily, verily, I say unto you, he who holds my vibration has God life. What is that vibration? It's the loving Father. When James and John said, let's call down fire from heaven and destroy this town like they did in the Old Testament, Jesus said, no, you don't know what spirit you are of. He said, love your enemies. It's not an eye for an eye. He taught the loving Father of the Magi. My friends, think about it. It was the Magi in Matthew that came and anointed the child, that worshiped the child. That is the Zoroastrian priests, the ones that practiced the white magic. Jesus did miracles, healings. My friends, that is the good magic. That is the good miracles. That's where we're meant to live. The Jewish people, it says, were afraid. They're the ones that crucified him. My friends, hear me. We have to make a line between right and wrong, and it's simple because inside of you is a divine spark. And I know it's been beaten out of you, and you've been rewarded when you do what they say, and you've been punished. And even in your very DNA, there's a memory in the records of the collective conscious. There's a record. Don't say anything. Don't butt up against their Jehovahs and their Allahs and the Shivas, up against their politics, against their Republican and Democrat. That's the only way you can do it, or else they're going to peel the skin off you. They're going to burn you alive. They're going to make your life miserable. So what do, my friends? We have to understand. We have to awaken, and we have to come together. They keep us separated, right? All the different countries, and they keep us fighting against each other. But with the technology right now, we're all connecting all around the world. This message is going to 150 countries, and it's when the people rise up and say, do you know what? I'm going to make a change in myself. And I promise you, what happens when you change, your governments will change. Think about that for a minute. What's inside of you? What are your true motives? If you could get away with cheating on your wife, if you wouldn't get caught, would you do it? Are you really the good ones? Would you steal and rip off people if you could do it without getting caught, but then you complain about the governments for doing it? They're a reflection of the people, my friends. If the people stand up in numbers, billions of us come together and we say, we're going to do it different. No more Democrat, Republican. We're going to do something different. It will change. And my friends, I was thinking about the armies and how they fool you that we're doing it for God and country. First, I have to say, what God? Okay, hear me, the Jehovahs, the Allahs, the Shivas that hate war, kill, and destroy. They can send good and evil. Those are no good, no gods at all. God means the highest principle of good, and that is unconditional love, peace, joy, kindness. It's what the masters taught. And my friends, when I went in the army and they're teaching us one shot, one kill, they don't want to waste bullets, my friends. They want one shot, one kill. They don't want you to miss. And the reason for this killing is to stop socialism. Okay, but if you look at their Bibles, because I went to Bible college, the Bible teaches socialism. The New Testament apostles, they had everybody bring their money together, and then they shared it amongst each other. And a matter of fact, if you remember the story, one couple, they sold all their land, and they didn't give all of the money, so they said God killed that couple. My friends, people don't even know what they're talking about anymore. They don't know what the history is. The history changes all the time. The science changes all the time. The religions change all the time. But you know what doesn't change? White and black, right and wrong, good and evil. And we need to make that line, that divide, and pick a side. No more mix. No more God that can hate and love, that can be at peace and war. No more politics like that. No more the dark system ruling. It is between white magic and black magic, and you have to make a stand. And I am very concerned right now. We know the world religions have that mixed idea, that mixed God, but now it's coming into the spiritual, the new age thinking. My gosh, almost all the people that I used to follow right now are talking about there's no right and there's no wrong. There's no good and there's no evil. You're just here to experience it all. What a bunch of bullshit. And I've said this before. Wait till something really happens. Wait till some drunk gets in his car and runs over your child. And then try that. Try to say, oh, well, we're just here to experience it. There's no right. There's no wrong. You'll say, oh, hell no. You're going to get on the side. My friends, it's directing energy. You're going to direct energy with what you hold, the feelings and emotions that you hold. Give me 1 second here. I know I had a note on something about that. Okay, as a child, my friends, you're raised with no control. And when we go into adulthood, we have that same feeling. They take away your control and your decisions. And for the first 7 years, we're in that theta state. And they hypnotize you. And as an adult, we still feel that. And you, when you have a belief with strong feelings, my friends, that's what you create, and that's how the dark system keeps us in that. And then again, then they give you, their drugs and their alcohol, but they tell you not to meditate. And this is what drives me crazy. Their religion teaches you don't meditate because you might get a devil. Haven't you heard that, my friends? That's the thing that could save you without drugs, without alcohol, and break you away from being a slave. But they say don't meditate. Don't try to connect directly with God. Only read your Bible. That's what I was taught in the Baptist church. Do not meditate. Do not try to speak directly to God because you might hear from a devil and get confused. And do you know what? You're going to hear from God when you go to God. And what he's going to tell you is he doesn't hate, he doesn't war, he doesn't kill. And then that's what freaks out the churches. Now they just lost one of their converts. They just lost their 10% tithe. They're just losing their control over you. What else did I want to cover here? I don't even know if I should talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that right now. We're going to cover that another time. It's too much. I've probably lost half you already. But I want to read to you from the 2,600-year-old Magi text. The word magic comes from the Magi. It's the Zoroastrian priest. And my friends that I talked about, they're the ones that found the Christ, anointed him, and worshipped at his feet. And hidden right here in plain sight is all the white magic, all the miracle power you need to create Asha, heaven on earth, right here. And hear this, my friends. Words with feeling are spells. And in Asha 15 it says, tell the truth. And my friends, what we're doing here when we tell the truth, it's a high invocation, and we're invoking the divine mind. All along this whole timeline, we've had the power to change the world back. I know it seems overwhelming. They've got nuclear bombs and hate, and how are we going to fight them with love? But inside of us is the most powerful energy there is. And it says in Asha 15, giving true witness, a man will be saved. Now, what do I say when I'm saying give true witness? Okay, I'm saying think and speak with feeling the perfect creator's perfect idea, Asha, not what you've been beaten over the head to believe. It says, only think and speak truth to yourself and it will form. What is truth? It's the highest good. It's the highest principle of God, of good. And it's unconditional love without wrong motives to try to get something. It's peace. It's joy. It's kindness. It's everything instinctively you know that is good. You can speak that not just with words, but with what you're feeling, what you're vibrating. And that's what you start to create. It says, thank God's highest idea of truth, Asha, and live. My friends, that is God life, good life, where we talked about Jesus said, verily, verily, I say unto you, he who holds my word, my vibration, has God life. You'll live. Keep the power of truth. There's a power in truth in your mind, and you make that your model. Not what's going on around you. Inside you, you meditate on that divine spark, all the wisdom. It's omniscient. It's omnipotent. And my friends, you tap into that power, and you hold that before your eye, and that's what you start to create in your world, and then it spreads out into your atmosphere. Trust God and let it be, because it is. Asha already is in truth. It's the lion illusion covering up your vision, your hearing. That's why people, they have ears but they hear not, they have eyes but they can't see, because they've had the matrix pulled over their eyes, plugged in their ears. But this is how we awaken to the truth. And my friends, you don't worry. You don't have to strive to make something happen. You don't have to force it. There's no force involved. You just align your vibration. My friends, everything is energy, and there's these powerful tones and frequency patterns, and when we align with those, we create these crystalline patterns, and that's how form is made. And by us all coming together and holding these high frequencies, these high vibrations, we make a whole new world. My God, I hope I explained that in some kind of way that made truth. I want to read Asha 16 too, because it goes along with that truth. It says, everyone who is of the truth here's the truth. So here I'm kind of getting a little worried that maybe I didn't present this well. But if you are of the truth, you've heard what I said, even if I didn't do a very good job of saying it. It says, when man sins, or thinks, or speaks, or acts in error, it's against his nature, against that divine spark, for he comes from good spirit and will return to good spirit. God put the good mind, or the divine spark, in his creatures, so it has a guide at all times. My friends, it doesn't matter what their Bibles or their Qurans or their preachers or their politics or their teachers say. Inside of you, you can go in and there's that divine spark, that guide that God put in you. Your higher self is always communing with you. You just have to listen. You have to close off all those other stories and ideas and fears and lies, and you can connect, my friends. That simple. It says it's how the seed knows how to climb out of the ground and become a plant, how the planets stay their course, and how man will find his way home to Asha, truth. Living in truth is life without enemies. For the evil, I love this. Get this. Living in truth is life without enemies. For evil, the lie, and illusion is rendered nothing. Oh, so go, Asha Von, truth knower, in truth, and enjoy this wonderful life, knowing you are God's thought, living in God's idea. My friend, we can't get upset about all the things going on around us that would bring us into their low vibration. But we're Asha Vons, we're truth knowers, and we hold that and we shine. We be love, we be joy, we be kind. And I've heard it referred to as riding the tiger. You know, you ride the system right now because there's no other choice really for the majority. But we're getting ready to take it over, my friends, and we will. Asha will reign. People are getting wiser. There's too much information, but I see so many pitfalls out there, and I know you do too. But we can go around those. We can get rid of those completely if we'll just come together. And that's why I'm always asking you, please start sharing these messages. Please be a part of our beautiful thing of bringing Zoroastrianism back, the order of the Magi, the all good spirit. And I know it's not easy. My own parents don't believe the way I do. They're very strong Baptist Christians, and they think they're trying to save me. They're worried about me. And they think I've been deceived by a devil. And my friends, think about that for a minute. Is that the most ridiculous thing you ever heard? My God is all good. He doesn't hate. He doesn't war, doesn't kill, doesn't destroy. I don't have to drink and do drugs, but I meditate and spend time with that good spirit. I'm creating Asha, heaven on earth, and I live in that peace and that joy. And my friends, and they're trying to save me from that. What do they want me to get? A Jehovah that hates wars and kills, that sacrifices animals, start drinking, start having to take prescription drugs, start believing in war again and going back. My friends, that's things of the old. And it's funny, I was just thinking about this the other day. I was looking at old pictures back from the 70s and 80s, and I was looking at the things that they thought were really cool, like the cars of the time and the clothing of the time. I started thinking, it looks really ridiculous. And you go back even further and look at their cars and their airplanes, and my friends, that's what religion and politics is stuck in. It looks ridiculous now to the newer generations. We've come so far, but the older generations, like I said, they're stuck in those prompters. They say the same jokes, they say the same words. They're stuck in just, they're good slaves is what they are. They're not thinking beings. They're just dead men walking. They're zombies. And we're waking up this new generation. We're saying, no, this is bad. I don't like abortion. Okay, I don't like killing. I don't like war. I don't like these Jehovahs and all